What's good, family? This is Wealth Whispers again, bringing you some more solutions and a conversation to tackle this financial mess. We're going to talk about a number of different things today. One of which is budgeting apps. So apps to help you organize your budgeting system according to our conversation last time. Another conversation is how to build an emergency fund step by step, so that you are locked in to the necessity that is the emergency fund. And 2 or 3, why the emergency fund is a must-have for every individual and every household, period. The reason why every single individual needs an emergency fund is because life be lifing for everyone. There's not a single person in this world that will go through life where they won't have some type of rainy day, trials and tribulations. Bad-ish happens to everyone who lives long enough to be able to experience it. So, in order for 98% of the world to not have to seek help, to borrow, to go without, to lose out on opportunities, or to just downright begin this downward path to more financial destituting or financial crippling situations, an emergency fund is necessary. Your emergency fund will allow you to control the bad things that are happening so they don't continue to spiral out of control. I'll give a very good example of that. So you are an average American and you have, let's say, $4,000 in your emergency fund because you've been doing it for 6 months. You avoid an accident on the streets of Texas. That's very likely to happen, but you avoid an accident. But your tires blow out. All but one. You burn out a little bit, but you're safe. Your car is not physically damaged, but your 3 wheels are blown out. You have to pay for towing and then for your wheels. That's gonna run you about, let's be generous, $750. You have that because you have $4,000 put away. You continue to drive to and back from work and you realize that your steering ain't what it was before that incident or avoided incident. You take it into the shop, same place that you got your tires from, and they tell you, oh, your access column on your vehicle is warped because you swerved and avoided the car collision. So that's going to be another $800. They give you a car because it's going to be 4 to 5 days before they get the parts in, which is cool, convenient, right? But you still got to pay a piece of that. Okay, so let's say for the days that you have to pay extra, let's say you pay an extra $200, so that's another $1,000. That's fine, you got it, right? So you get your car back a week later, everything's fine. And everything's going good. And you go about your life, never missing a beat. Everything's hunky-dory because you had extra to deal with. And you still do have extra to deal with, to do with what you need, because you didn't even go into the totality of your emergency fund. Let's flip that. Now let's go to that same average American, and you never thought to budget accordingly in your life, and you're living right now paycheck to paycheck. Same situations happen. Your first one, you avoid an accident. You lose 3 wheels. Now what? You have to put your car to the side of the road because you can't afford it to get towed. You have to call someone and hope that they answer to come pick you up off the highway. Why? And then you have to wait or borrow. Much worse, borrow the funds in order to get your tires replaced. And just like clockwork, next week comes, you get paid again. Your steering ain't what it used to be. You taking it to the shop, they tell you that it's going to be an $800 thing. You can't afford that. So you continue to drive until your steering column breaks. Now you can't drive. Now your car is in disrepair because you couldn't save up enough fast enough to get what you needed in order to pay for your vehicle. Now your 2022 is sitting on a $1,500 car repair bill while you still owe $900 a month to the monthly payments to keep the car. So the month that you have to save up is, $2,400 plus dollars, not including if you borrowed previously to pay for the tires to get your car back and to get it running. This also means that during this period of time where your car is either A, sitting, B, in the shop, or C, nothing is happening because it's undrivable, you're either having to ask for help, Uber to work, or again, borrow in order to rent a car to get to work. Put yourself further and further into the hole. Same two scenarios. One is going to cost you with the $1,500 car repair because you couldn't afford the vehicle, because you couldn't afford the initial $800 repair, plus the towing fee and then the tires of the original $800 situation. You're paying plus the potential Uber rides to and from the carpools or the borrowing and requesting the help, interest, etc., so forth. You're paying way more than the potential $2,400 that you paid in the first scenario. And if you're making the same amount of money, one is going to tax your financial pocket exponentially more than the other one. That is why it is necessary that we always save for our possibilities. Now, I'm not saying go crazy with it. You don't have to not enjoy your life because you're afraid of something happening to you. But do put some away so that when something does happen, you are way better prepared than not. That's all I'm saying. Okay? The 5 best budgeting apps by Consumer Review are Speedy, YNAB. That means you need a budget. Mumphy, Dave Ramsey's Every Dollar, and My Money, the track expense and budget app. Now, when you go doing your research, just a vote of warning. All of them specialize in something different. Dave Ramsey's, if anyone knows anything as far as budgeting, as far as Dave Ramsey, he's an extremist. If you are out of control with your finances, you may need his method. If you don't know, or if you're justifying on the front and back end of why you're spending your needs money on wants, and you need an intervention, and family and friends ain't it, the Dave Ramsey method might be something to get you disciplined enough to work yourself out of your financial mess. Okay? So every dollar might work for you. If that is not your issue and you just need something to help you track where your money is, if you are a person that's soft budgeted, meaning you know how much money is coming in, you generally have a good idea of how much money is going out, but you could be better at it, more focused, because what you call budgeting is looking at your account balance on a regular basis every single time to check to see if you have funds or not. The Spending app, the Spendy app, and the You Need a Budget app might be better for you. Both on functionality, their ability to plug and play your account, the way that they can stretch out and show you what your expenses have been, where they've been going, and then a way that you can categorize what you need to do. Amazing apps. The Moneyfi and the My Money apps, equally as good for what they're offering. The My Money app focuses on targeted expenses, so you can put what your rent, etc., so forth, and actually build a budget report for yourself. And then the Moneyfi will more or less show you what your expenses has been. You can, with some workarounds, also do the expense report as well. But that's not the focus for Moneyfi. It's more or less showing you what your financial wherewithal is, what your discretionary funds would be, or where your funds have been going, and then how you can use your budget to level up, whether that be to increase your credit score because you've had some loans over here that you weren't prioritizing, etc. Different things, different apps for different folks. All of them are good depending on what you're looking for. Okay, those are definitely some things that I would suggest working out if you need some help with your isolating of your different percentages for what your wants and your savings categories should be. Of course, because needs are permanent, so they're not necessarily going to change too much from day to day. So, okay. And last but not least, the step-in-step instructions to building an effective, efficient, and an isolated emergency fund. Okay. And I will start off with the word isolated. You want your emergency funds to be in a separate account from your checking, savings, etc., so forth, and even your day-to-day bank. You want it somewhere completely separate. So as you digest that, that is number one. Isolate your emergency funds in a totally separate, even banking institution if you need to. Okay. Number two, you want to calculate 6 to 8 months of expenses, your needs, expenses, so that you have a goal target for how much your fully funded emergency fund would look like. Okay, so that's the top goal. Once you get to 6 to 8 months of expenses in this account, you can technically stop investing funds in it. The purpose of this is not a different type of savings account. The purpose is that if you were to lose your job, which would be for most people, or lose your way of income, for most people would be quite literally the hardest financial thing to recover from. After that, you want to reassess your budget and then have a target amount for how much money you need to push into your emergency fund, how many times per month in order to get to your goal. Designate that payment in automatic payment, or as an electronic funds transfer, since it's going to be at a totally different bank. And then number 5, be as consistent, persistent, and as disciplined as you possibly can with putting this money away for your betterment of your future and your inevitable negative possibilities. Okay? And that is it, people. Thank you so much again for this conversation. This is Wealth Whispers. My name is Ryan. Some people call me Soul. I appreciate, again, the new conversation. And I hope this helps. If you have any questions about what we've discussed, feel free to shoot me a comment. Please do like and support this channel, and subscribe. If you have new topics, or if you want me to dive deep on anything that I mentioned today, please do let me know. Until next time.